What is called no contact is one of the most powerful processes or energies that you can infuse into what you're experiencing if you find it hard to let go, or if you find that the more you try to make something work with somebody, the more it butchers up the process. This is something that changes everything when you get to apply it. And in this video, I'm going to share with you why that is, how you can apply it, and energetically what actually happens when you go no contact. Now, in general, when people are wanting something to work out with somebody else, what they end up doing energetically is they end up sending this person a lot of energy. Think of it like an address. This is what I've been using as an analogy lately. But think of it as like the person, when you're thinking about them, no matter where they are in the world, we're all connected to this collective consciousness. And what we are feeling about this person are projecting energy at this person. And what happens is they energetically can feel the energy, especially if they're thinking about you. Even if they're trying not to, but if like there's a lot of energy cords there, because when you're thinking of someone, when you're dating somebody, your energy fields begin to intertwine with each other. Your thoughts, your feelings, and emotions begin to intertwine. This is why some couples or some people that are dating may have the same thought at the same time. It's because they have similar fields that are they're like together a lot, so the energies are intermingled. Now what happens is, what can happen is there can be a level of enmeshment where the energy fields really begin to merge. And then what happens is somebody may want space. This happens a lot. This isn't a bad thing necessarily either. Sometimes they may feel like it's becoming too enmeshed, and they may say, oh, it's better, one of them normally, and normally if you look at the attachment styles, it'll be normally an anxious and an avoidant attachment style a lot of times. And then one person, sometimes the avoidant, will then go, and then the anxious will feel needy, will feel like, I want this person to like come back so that we can fix it, we can make it work. The thing is, though, is this person wants space. So this person then wants space. But then what happens is energetically, the other person continues to send them energy. So even though they have physical space, they do not have emotional or energetic space because the other person is sending that person energy. And remember, it's like a physical address. They're thinking about this person. They're sending this person energy. And what they're feeling in their body when they're thinking of them is definitely being projected, which normally it's needy energy. It's energy of like wanting something, and it's resistance. And it's sending that person energy. They're still feeling it. They're still feeling it, even though they may not even be talking that much. But energetically, what happens is when somebody pulls their energy back, they pull their energy back, and they go no contact. So no contact is a way to where you then focus, instead of on them, you focus on yourself. And focusing on yourself means hanging out with your friends, your dog, your cat, your family, doing something you're passionate about, focusing on like maybe picking up a new hobby. Like you really put the attention back on yourself and you stop sending this person energy. That's some people say no contact is when you just stop calling or texting them and seeing them. That's kind of no contact, but I'd actually say that the real no contact is you actually focus on yourself, because you can stop those things, but continuously be thinking of that person. And I promise you, you're still sending them the energy, and they're going to feel that needy energy. They're going to feel that you want them to be a certain, they're not going to feel like they have energetic space. But when you start pulling your energy back and focusing on yourself, they'll then feel that. And energetically, it then gives them room to breathe. It gives them room to like be in their own field, and then to say, actually, I do like this person, or it helps give them clarity. It also helps you get clarity. So energetically, when we're talking about this process of attracting love and just the process in general of us being in our own frame, realize that when we are projecting our energy out at somebody else, they're feeling it, and it is literally projecting energy at them, and they want space. They want to go away. The best thing to do is to pull your energy back, go no contact, where you don't talk or text, because every time you talk or text, you reestablish energetic cords. Think of it like we have these energetic cords that are around us. The more we're around each other, the more these energetic cords intermingle. And then when we pull apart, there's still some cords energetically. But when you send them energy and you're thinking of them, it's like sending that cord, that energy to that person. Now, every time you reestablish contact, you're reestablishing those cords. And especially if there's still needy energy activated, it's going to refunnel that needy energy right back into them. Now, I have seen it so many times where somebody goes no contact and they actually let that energy go and they put the energy back on themselves, and it has such a magnetic quality. And I know I've shared this in a couple other videos, but I shared this little example as well. At a event I went to once, like 4 years ago, there was a teacher there that was like an energy, some type of like scientific energy teacher. She had a TED Talk, and she talked about energy. And she was at this place, and I was at a little workshop with her, and she was explaining to the audience how energy is projected and received and felt. And she said, everyone right now, project your energy at me, as her sitting in the front of the room. Everyone is projecting it. Send in her energy, send her energy, send her energy. And she says when people do that, it literally makes her back away. It repels her. She said, now bring all the energy back in your body. Bring it into your body. Bring it in your hands, into your feet. Bring it back to you. Bring it back to you. Bring it back to you. She said, as I do that, it has this magnetic quality where it literally makes you want to move towards. So energetically, when we project energy, it's repelling. When we bring energy back into our bodies, in our own frame, it's magnetic. And I've shared the frame technique before, but that's probably one of the most powerful and magnetic processes I've ever found, I've ever used. And I did this, and it's such a simple technique of like staring at a candle flame, literally like a candle flame like this, and looking at it for just 5 or 10 minutes a day, feeling inside of your body, feeling in your hands, feeling the separation between you and the candle flame. And as you do this, you start to feel safe in your own body. And as you feel safe inside your own body, you then go out. You don't need as much from other people. You won't need their validation. You won't need their approval. And when I go out in public and I'd be inside my body and I would do that, it was so incredible how people would respond differently to me because of that. It's like there was more magnetic energy there, and I needed less from them. So energetically, it changes everything when you begin to bring the energy in your hands and your feet, and you begin to feel safe in your own body, knowing you don't need someone else's approval, someone else's validation. And what ends up happening is it has this magnetic quality that actually increases the probability of that person coming back. But it's because you've reestablished your own energy cords, because that normally it's a level of codependency and enmeshment. And what happens is when we're projecting our energy at somebody else, it's enmeshing energies together. And the key and the most powerful thing you could possibly do is to pull your energy back and to put it in yourself and to put it in your body, to put it in your hands. And as you do that, they will literally feel that. And as they feel that, they will think different. They're going to be able to feel in their own energy. And that's when they'll actually realize that maybe they miss you. And that's why there's power in letting them actually miss you. But not just physically of going no contact by not calling or texting them, but energetically. And realize that what you thought, the story you told yourself about them, what you thought they could give you, which normally is validation or approval, and you think it's love, but normally love is a familiar energy. It's just a familiar energy we felt at childhood. And maybe if you had emotionally unavailable parents, then you're searching for that, and you're trying to, in a way, close the loop from childhood. You're trying to get them to meet the needs that your inner child feels like they didn't feel. And that's actually what this is about, more so than even that person. It's finding somebody that very perfectly reflects back the inner childhood stuff that is a very familiar energy. Familiar and familial are very similar words because familiar feels like family. So the key to this is becoming aware of that. And as you become aware of that, it changes absolutely everything. And energetically, it allows you to then be in your own frame, to feel safe in your own body. And it allows you to then actually be more magnetic and actually have more options as well. You'll find that you're in more abundance when you have this mentality. This is the power and the magnetic quality of what is called non-attachment. Now, something I have as well, if you haven't texted me yet, text me your questions. And also, I send 2 or 3 times a week the High Vibe Thought of the Week. I send that of the top epiphanies, the top books I'm reading. And all you got to do is text me your questions, or text me at 424-304-0104. If you're in Canada or the U.S., you can do this. I'm working on an international thing that I'll eventually have. But as well, there's a video on how to let them miss you. When you let them miss you, it changes everything watch this video right here. When we're attached, what we do is we create resistance, and this resistance is dependent on how someone else is responding or not responding to our own energy. Now, one of the most attractive things you can do is to actually bring your energy